Alright, so today we're going to be taking a look at how to use lighting to make a scene go from this to this. My goal with this video is to give a better lighting tutorial than any other course on the market for free and show you that if you know how to use lighting correctly, you can make any image look amazing, even with an iPhone. When I started within video production and cinematography, I struggled a lot to know how to properly use lighting within an image. Most people think that you need a cinema camera, these Sony cameras, movie cameras to make an image look amazing, but I would argue that proper lighting is just as important, if not more important. There are 4 main parts within lighting that I want to go over in today's video, and please do not just skip over one of these parts or watch one of them and think that your lighting situation will be solved, because all of the parts of lighting are just as equally as important. And if you have windows within the room, I recommend recording at night or putting up blackout curtains within the room. That way no extra light gets in and affects the image, or even both would be better. So now that the room is completely dark, we can now start adding lights to craft the image that we want. The key light is going to be the main source of light for your image. A great place to start is setting it at a 45-degree angle from your subject. Alright, so now that we've got our key light on, the only problem is it's pretty bright. So we're gonna want to dial that down a little bit. And when it comes to adjusting the brightness, we have 2 options. Option number 1 is to move the light away from the subject or angle it away from the subject. The only problem is that can sometimes create unwanted spill in other areas of your shot, but it will take the light off your subject. The other solution is to get a light that is dimmable. This way you can put the light wherever you want, as well as not sacrifice the placement of the light. And I highly recommend investing into a light where you can adjust the color temperature. That way you can nail the white balance of the shot much easier every time. So now that we've got our key light dialed in, the next step is we need to decide if we want to use a fill light, and if so, how much. For this shot in today's video, I have decided that I do want to keep the fill light dimmed down quite a bit. That way it looks more natural and not completely flat. This shot is already looking a billion times better than it did when we started. The lighting is a lot more flattering and the exposure is a lot more dialed in. For our next and third step in the lighting process, we're going to be adding in what is known as a rim light. And it's called a rim light because it actually creates a rim, or like a halo effect, around your head and shoulders. This is great because it's going to make your image look less flat and more dimensional, separating the subject from the background. Another super solid option is to get a small tube light, which you can place on the desk in front of you, or you can even stand another tube light up to the side of you, which can also create a great rim light effect. And this can also create different colors if you get an RGB powered rim light, which you've seen probably in tons of videos from other people, either using a red, a blue light, or both on either side of them. Now that we have 3 parts of our lighting, it's time for the 4th and final one, which might be the most important because that's really how you craft your image. We have our key light, we have our fill light, we have our rim light, and now let's talk about practical lights. Practicals are actually lights that appear within the background of your image. Typically, the practical lights are used to brighten up an area, add color to the shot, or just add ambience to the shot overall. For today's video, I'm actually going to be turning on some small light bulb lamps on the shelf behind me. I'm also going to be turning on the other lamp standing up that is in the background. In addition to this, I'm also going to be using a Lume Cube tube light that is in the background off camera. This is just standing up on the floor, and that is to separate the colors within the background. The cool thing about the light bulb that is in the lamp, as well as the Lume Cube light that is standing up, is that they are RGB and you can make them any color that you want. For today's video, I'm going to be going with an orange and teal look those colors are actually opposite on the color wheel, which makes them contrast very well and look very pleasing to the human eye. This orange and teal look has been shown in many travel videos and cinematography videos, originally popularized by Sam Colder. He uses this look in his travel videos a ton, and it looks amazing. And that is all for lighting in today's video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below.